Bump that up. There we go. Yeah. Now, today, we're gonna be writing some side quests and side character interactions. I already had one written down, but I didn't have it in this document, so I just had to copy paste it here to keep myself guided and settled. Hello. Now the way this is gonna go. Okay, also tell me if the music's too loud, because I can't really tell. So, let me see. Let me see. Alright. So the one I already had written down. Okay, everyone's coming in. Very cool. The one I did have written down was in the Dwarven camp when Scarlet first arrives at that location after the initial sequence after she gets rescued. And it was just a very, well, functionally it's kind of meaningless. It's just there to give a bit more depth to the world. It doesn't lead anywhere specifically, but it's there for a little bit of flavor. It's just between two dwarven. It's just there's two dwarven younglings. They're younger dwarves, which in dwarfish can mean they're either 50 or they're like 100. I don't exactly know, but they're just younger dwarves that are lazing around in the fucking camp. And when Scarlet can just either ignore them or decide to interact with them. And it kind of goes down like, the first one will complain about Smed, which is the dwarven blacksmith, in case anyone's forgotten. And then the second one, he actually asks Scarlet a question. And we get two options. First would be agree. Second one would just be call him lazy, like the bum he is. And depending on that one, we get two different answers. In the first, if you respond agree, the dwarf kind of goes, yeah, best option is take a nap 10 out of 10 times. Second option, he just goes, you don't have to be mean about it. After which, if the player picks the first option, it would just and always loop this message, the reply, every time they try to interact with him again. If they go for the second option, the insulting one, he'll say you don't have to be mean about it, and then if the player tries to interact with him again, he'll say leave me alone. That's the only secondary interaction I wrote in, highly inspired by classic RPGs that used to have like a shit ton of meaningless NPCs in towns. Looking at you, early Final Fantasies, where you could talk to them. Sometimes you'd even have dialogue options with them, but it didn't really matter. Because they were just, kind of there. Or Pokemon, yeah, Pokemon also had a shit ton of those. Pretty sure most early retro RPGs kind of did that, where it's like, oh, here's just people to make the town feel like it's not dead. Yeah, Lee talks about her ferns. True. Or those houses where you'd walk into, and it's like, there's an old man just sitting at a table with his Pokemon on the other chair, and he's just talking to the Pokemon like he understands what the Pokemon's saying, and the Pokemon's just going like, Rah! Depending on the type of Pokemon it is, it just makes one of the sounds. But that sort of stuff makes the game feel a bit more alive. So that's kind of what I'm going for here with it. In the Dwarven camp, we could put this one. Why is this? Oh, because it's technically not a word. It's going to be a word now. Fuck you, word. And, let me think. Well. More work for our programmer. Human section of the Dwarven camp. In this part, This is gonna be... You guys remember Rainer? The human trainer that's gonna... that, I'm laughing at our programmer's immediate response being crying. Hey, you have someone to help you now. It's not all you anymore. You got this. But basically what I was thinking is we put an option in Rainer's dialogue like list of options among the training and blah blah blah, where it's just if the player picks Rainer's dialogue option, talk. It's just talk. Just talk. Depending on how far they've progressed in the game, he will have different conversations with Scarlet. If they pick it the very first time they meet him, a following dialogue sequence will take place. Now, what's the formatting I'm doing for this? I don't remember anymore. Right. Bruh, that'd be like, how to unlock hard mode? we add an option to Rainer where it's just Scarlet throwing slurs and insults at him. We don't even write them. We just go like the old school comic book way of like writing symbols every time she talks. And he gets progressively more insulted and to the point where he just refuses to help you level up for the entire game. You go fight the final boss at level 1 with like 10 mana and 10 stamina. Goddamn. Oh wait, no, I'm being stupid. Rainer. What do you want to talk about? There. Fuck. In this case, Scarlet would reply. Wait, I need to have the... thank the gods for 2 screens, because I need to have the document that has the story of Eksauria, the entire, like, main plot written down. Just, you know, for the sake of reminding myself of what the fuck I've written, because otherwise I'll just get lost in right plot holes and plot inconsistencies, and I fucking hate those. I refuse to be the next Akira Toriyama that just forgets he does shit. Fun fact, you guys know that Akira Toriyama had Piccolo blow up the moon and then forgot about it, and the moon was back 2 episodes later? Yeah. Dragon Ball was funny, writing-wise. Sup, Alf? Okay, so this is Rainer, blah, blah, blah. Fick. Wait. I'm confused now. Akira forgot he existed. Yeah. Yeah. No. Let me see. Wait, no. Why isn't Word showing me where the fuck Rainer's first appearance is? Why is this being stupid? This is all dwarves still. Dwarves. Blah, blah, blah. This is all the shit we had with Sven. I'm so glad you people can't see this document because this... I've been over so many fucking spoiler sequences already. Blah, blah. Alright, okay, I see how I wrote this. Okay, wait. Okay, never mind. I'm just confused now. The name Eksauria actually it's technically a transformation of the Latin word exaudiat, which means to drain or be drained. Since we had the idea of weapons that drain magical energy from creatures, and the player technically doesn't have magical energy by himself, because Scarlet's just human, and in this universe humans can't do magic. When we first started developing the game, like way before the first alpha was even out, and I had to come up with names and shit. I was like, okay, we gotta give the weapons, since they're like the title thing of our game and the main thing of our game. We have to give them like a special name, something. And I like going for symbolical names and stuff like. You'll find that every single name in this game has some degree of symbolism. Some more shallow, like Scarlet, which is very obvious. She has red hair. She's dressed in red. That one's easy. To shit more in depth, like the name of the Eksauria is one, but I was coming up with another idea, but then I forget. But yeah, the Eksauria is basically, I was thinking, okay, these weapons drain magic. They drain. And I started looking into, like, let me see what the term of to drain is in, like, old languages. And Latin is always my go-to for that sort of stuff, because I just like the language, and it usually has very cool and very nice sounding words in it. So I came up with Exauriat, and at first that's what the game was called as well. But then we were like, maybe the T, like the hard T at the end, kinda makes it a bit, not roll off the tongue so well anymore. So we going for Exauria. And then I was like, wait, what if we, and then someone, I don't remember if it was me or if it was one of the other team members, but one of us was like, what if we just take the fucking Latin out of it completely, but keep the words sounding the same? And, the only thing in that's similar to the X sound is a K and an S together. They're like X. Makes that weird. Also, it doesn't make that Z sound of Exaudiat, but it makes Eksauria, which is close enough. And that's how that happened. Exauria is just the Latin word Exaudiat, but severely, well, butchered. Yeah, see. Sexual. See, it's almost there. It's like, it's K and an S together. It's basically discount X. It's K and an S together. No, not what I want. Not what I want. And response to scared, content, blah blah, smed. First, second, fourth. Sorry, I'm looking through the main story document, trying to find. I think I slightly, very slightly, messed up. But give second. Narrative. Lore. The poor man's ex, indeed. Indeed. Yep, I wrote it down in another document. And then I think I forgot to put it in the main narrative document where, Scarlet meets Rainer for the first time. I think I screwed the pooch there. It's not on the main story document. And I thought I'd written it down there, but I remember writing it down, but I guess it's not there anymore. So fuck it. There's no risk of me fucking everything up anyway, because this is basically... How... I'm thinking I wrote it down and Word might have fucked up and deleted it somehow. Honestly. Because I vividly remember writing certain interactions down. Because what I'm not finding is like the very first time Scarlet meets Rainer as a character. And I'm pretty sure that was pretty early on. We don't talk about One More Day, okay? We don't talk about... no, One More Day is a different one. Sins of the Past is the arc where that happened. We don't talk about Sins of the Past. Fuck that. Fucking Marvel. And they don't even try to, like, you know, sweep it under the rug like they're doing with One More Day in the current Spidey runs. No, not at all. They're like... They almost shove it in your face like, yeah, Gwen fucked Norman. And she had 2 kids. Deal with it. Like, yeah. Fucking... Ah, it shivers on my fucking spine. But yeah, best to have those issues now than later. And after the game's done, people are like, yeah, this story's inconsistent here. I'm like, shit! If anybody finds out I've been writing for fucking 12 years, I'll be fired. Wait a minute. Yep, no, I just Google definitely deleted the first interaction between them because I 100% had it written down. Not Google, fucking Microsoft Word. Maybe some document error. Wouldn't be the first time that happened to me. No mind. I'll just, how'd you know my grandpa? Fuck. Shitballs. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Now. Now I need to... I have like 3 or 4 different narrative documents open right now, guys. Just because I need to check and double check shit that I've written to make sure everything's consistent. What the fuck did I call that first big war that we talked about when we were doing the lore document? Yeah, it's the Great 10-Year War. Great 10-Year War. Big. Great. Great about it. Sure. Yeah, see, I'm gonna write something right now that is ringing bells in my head, because I'm 100% sure I wrote this down before, but it's just nowhere to be fucking found. And it's annoying me. But well. Oh, wait, no. There, okay, I just wrote it. Oh, thank the gods, this is way better than my fears of Word deleting things. I just wrote it in the wrong fucking document. Because I'm a poo-poo head. Okay, then I just need to shove it in here somewhere. It's hard being a writer and being as forgetful and as chaotically wired as I am, brain-wise. I lose a lot of shit in my writing process, then I have to find it all again and piece it. It's like, I open a puzzle box, the pulse is already kind of in pieces inside the box. And I have an idea on how to set it properly, you know, put it all together. But instead of doing that immediately, what I do is I open the box, I open the bag where the pieces come in. I shove them, like, all over the floor. Just split that shit all over the floor. And then I spend 50 years looking for the pieces under the couches and carpets. Yeah, that's an accurate analogy for my writing process. Chaos is how I learn. I need to... You guys are not seeing this, but I'm gonna very quickly... So basically what I'm doing, setting it up on Streamlabs right now would be a bit of a pain in the ass and take already more time than I've already taken. But what I'm basically doing is shoving the thing with Rainer in the main story document so I can look at it right here on the document you're seeing, so we're consistent, everything's working fine, and then this will never happen again. There. There we go. All right. Now. In the main, yeah, okay, this dialogue can happen. In the main dialogue sequence, like the main dialogue sequence for the main story, this conversation happens immediately as sort of a greeting thing. So we're gonna add something different for the side interaction between them. An old friend of your grandfather's on the war together. Okay, so Scarlet, what was it like being in the Great 10-Year War? Fuck. Now Rainer, being a grizzled war veteran, gets annoyed at the term Great 10-Year War. Same thing as World War I vets. Back in the day, if you asked a World War I vet, what was it like being in the Great War, as the First World War is often referred to, they just get pissed like, fucking, there's nothing great about it. I took a goddamn chemical burn to the eye. Something like that. So I'm gonna give Rainer sort of that attitude. Figuratively and literally. So, figuratively speaking, if the fire demons had been involved, I told you that was literal. Thankfully, they weren't there. And then Scarlet will reply with, sounds like it was a rough time. Not roughed, the fuck? Rough. Grandpa never talked about it much. He always said he remembered it. The war took a lot from us. All of us. Never met your grandma. Grandman, really? The fuck's a grandman? Goddamn fingers, please cooperate. Boom. Wait. Is this accurate? Lore inconsistencies. No. Have I written anything about Scarlet's grandma? I think I did. Boop, boop, boop. Let's go up in the lore document. Check my shit. I have not. So I can just add this and be okay. Yay! Okay. So now the casualties of it. Oh, yeah. Going back to that topic of symbolism, Alf, if you're still here, which I hope you are. The village of humanity, village of Vir, is also taken from Latin. Vir is the Latin word for men. Except we're reading it wrong. In Latin, you don't read the V's as V's. You read them as weird hybrids between U's and B's. So instead of Vir, it's Vir. Vir is the Latin word for men. But we're reading it as we're writing it, so it's the village of Vir, which makes it, you know, a little less harder to pronounce, especially for an international audience, because we all know how native English speakers are with weird words. That's another bit of symbolism. It's the village of man, because the village of Vir is the village of man, and name because, you know, Latin word for men. There, that's the explanation. It's attacked by frost giants, and he was sadly one of the ones caught in it. And Scarlet, was it as bad as the demon attack of we just suffered? Rainer. No. Not as destructive or chaotic. It was a military tactic. Tried laying siege to the village and sent in a couple of troops for intimidation. Luckily, there were some elvish troops in the area. The siege ended with minimal casualties, despite still having some. See. Thanks, Rainer. See you later. There, that's where that ends. You know, it's a bit long, but that's the thing with a lot of these side interactions. If they don't lead to a side quest or anything, if they're just, you know, lore, world building, they have to be somewhat long. I remember in a lot of old RPGs, going back to the topic of Final Fantasy and Pokemon, there's a lot of these side dialogues that end up being long, and if you press on them again, they'll just repeat the whole thing, and you'll be like, oh, for fuck's sake, that was an accident, I didn't want to repeat this. But the fact of the matter is, they add depth to the world, and I think, as a writer, that's important to any game. Like, even a game, perfect example, a game with a story as shallow as Doom, the original one, currently has a super in-depth explored lore because of what 2016 and Doom Eternal did. They took the formula, made it modern, gameplay-wise, and then they were like, okay, we don't need to focus too much on the story, but it would be cool if we put it in the game, because after all these years of Doom and Quake being interconnected, and all the lore we wrote down inside things, like the id Software RPG game, where that's where it became canon, that technically Doom Guy is a, like, great-great-great-grandson of B.J. Blazkowicz from Wolfenstein. In fact, it's theorized that Doom Slayer's, Doom Guy's, whatever, real name is like B.J. Blazkowicz III, or some shit like that. It was an id Software's RPG. It's a complete side game. A lot of people don't even know about it. That sort of connection was made. And then with Quake, it's the whole, oh, traveling through dimensions. And that's why, I don't know if anyone here has ever played Quake Arena, but it's a free-to-play Quake game. It's a recent one. It's actually pretty decent. I enjoyed it for when I played it. Doom Guy is one of the playable characters. The way he shows up in Doom 2016. He probably has his Doom Eternal look now that I think about it. I haven't played that game in fucking years. But that game is Quake for the whole id Software multiverse, because it explains when in Doom 2016 they say that Doom Slayer spent like hundreds of years hopping in time and space in hell, just in different ages of hell, fighting demons constantly. And apparently, while doing all that dimension hopping, he also ended up in being put in, like, the death game that the eldritch entities behind Quake organize, and he was put in there together with the other heroes / villains that the Quake games contain. And part of his adventure was fighting in the Quake arena, not dying, because the man's basically a god, get sent back to hell, eventually get sealed, and then show up in Doom 2016. The whole Quake thing happens, like, between Doom 64, I believe? Because Doom 3 isn't canon anymore. I'm sorry, Doom 3 can just go the fuck out of the window. Out. It's Doom 1, Doom 2, and Doom 2064. Doom 3D. Not Doom 2064, what the fuck? Doom 64. Doom 3D for the Nintendo 64. In that game, it ends with Doom Guy in hell. Like, stuck in there. Doom 3 also kind of has that ending, actually, but, I think Doom 64 is the one that's canon. So, the tie-in for Doom 2016 is all the side lore and all the extra shit they wrote in that period of time without actually putting it in a mainline Doom game. So they figured, for 2016 and Eternal, let's shove it all in there. The games don't focus that much on story because it's Doom. People don't play Doom for the plot. They play Doom to shoot demons in the face with a shotgun that explodes 50 times before it's done shooting. And that's okay. But, back to my original point, this tangent was necessary for context. Giving the world more depth is never a bad thing. Players can choose to ignore it, but those that care will go looking for it. And if it's not there, just be like, okay, cool, I don't know anything about this world. Those that don't care will just skim by. They don't care anyway. They'll get the main plot and they'll be like, sure, I understand. But having more depth, so in essence, these bit longer dialogue sequences, even if they're secondary, is to an extent important. That's what I was getting at. I mean, you have it in Dark Souls as well. Especially Dark Souls 1, where the story is so goddamn vague, you don't understand jack shit when you first go in. But then suddenly you start talking to NPCs, you start reading item descriptions, which is a lengthy process. Again, entirely optional, but it's a lengthy process if you decide to undertake it. And then you start piecing shit together and you're like, oh, so that's what happened to this dying, dark, grim, sad world. Depression the video game has a reason for being Depression the video game. Partially because of Kentaro Miura. Rest his fucking soul. I'm not even Catholic, but wherever he is, he's better now. He's resting. He was sick, poor man. He left Berserk unfinished, but hey, he gave us a lot of good shit, and he inspired a lot of good shit thanks to his work, and that's all we can be thankful for. Now, if Scarlet interacts with Raynor, let me think. Yeah, this would be like first time they meet, you have the normal main dialogue with Rainer, and then in the dialogue tree of options, like you have train, you have other things. If you pick talk, they'll have this conversation. Now, if the player interacts with Rainer after going through the Valley of Agni for the first time, Rainer, following interaction, once should the player pick talk. Well, first it's going to be Scarlet, actually. Scarlet's going to be the one asking the question. Have you... Wait. Scarlet, big talk, and Scarlet says, have you ever fought a demon? Rainer. Lurkers, no lurking. What is this shit? Dora the Explorer, swiper, no swiping. Type in chat. Even if it is, like, you know, feel free to insult me. I don't care. Just talk in chat. Interact with people. Say that the writer's a big poo-poo head if you have to. I don't care. It's fine. It's part of the job. Once. Big, bulky fire demon. He's a stray fighter. He was a scout. Scout. Your grandpa and I. I still haven't fully understood, like, the fuck? I haven't fully understood, like, all the features that fucking Kapamon has. I look at this cat and all I see is an eldritch abomination, which is a good thing, but I'm still like, like, who here... I'm assuming, well, this isn't spoilers anymore because the movie's been out for fucking years. You guys remember the cat from Guardians of the Galaxy? The weird tentacle mouth cat? Yeah, I look at Kapamon, that's all I can think about. It's just an eldritch abomination of a cat. It's a big, bulky fire demon. He was a scout grab and I found him inspecting the village, and we gave chase. He ran a bit up north, the very edge of the crater, cornered him. Tough fight. In the end, we got him, brought him back to the village. Scarlet. But why? But why? Why would you do that? Why would you take the demon dad back to the village? What is wrong with you? Self-sustaining meme cat. Yikes. Hold on. Okay. And Rainer replies with, let the village chief know. End up using his bones to make weapons and his skin for clothing. Demon leather is very warm, and demon bones make incredibly sharp swords. Keep that in mind. And the Scarlet, like any normal person that's sheltered and never had to go through war, will go, ew. Wait, what the fuck? No. I opened a new document accidentally. No look at me like that. Desperate times called for desperate measures. You should know. Bone! No. Look at the quest you're undertaking. Good point. You guys, I said it before as a meme when we were just in chat together, but you guys are veering dangerously close to the whole Eksauria visual novel dating sim for Scarlet territory, okay? I don't want to go there, but you're forcing my hand. Unlockable. Oh no. Oh no. Are we doing a Genshin Impact now? Fuck. For those of you that don't play it, recently Genshin Impact had a few updates where it introduced like dating sim type situations for some of the characters that you can unlock by playing. You do some quests, you get a key, you use the key to unlock the fucking dating sim story arc for a specific character. Are we just gonna do that? But like, you finish the game, and after you finish the game, we introduced like this nameless, formless, not formless, but like generic looking NPC that is technically the player, and you can like interact with Scarlet, or Scarlet would interact with him, and once she does, it changes perspectives to him and turns into a dating sim? I hate this idea. Why am I still talking about this? Moving fucking... No! We are not coding a dating sim. Stop it. Yeah, if you screw up in a fence, Scarlet, she'll 100% just pull one of her Exaurias, fucking cut you in half, and that NPC will be there for the entirety of that run, and you will not have any more options for dating sim until you complete the game again and do another new game plus. I fucking hate that this sounds fun. Now, that's the thing. The marketing team has self-respect. One of the programmers has self-respect. The other one is into it. You have a second oh god. Okay. That's... No. What is this? That fucking movie about a zombie that falls in love? God, fuck that movie. Swear to God. What was it called? Warm Flesh? I don't fucking know. Wait, no, that's not bold yet. After this interaction, Scarlet will then be free to move around again. Now, this is player players. Okay. If the player interacts with Rainer after going, like, I'm running all the memes aside. Look, I have no qualms about writing a sex scene or two in a story. Some of my personal novels have sex scenes. They're not very graphic because I don't go that far, but they exist. I have no issues with that. Sex is a natural part of life. We're all human here. But I will draw the line at fucking erotic visual novels. I am not writing one. Stormy Studio. Yeah, that's our new name now. We're gonna switch names from Untitled Game Studios to Horny Game Studios. HGS now. Official name change. God damn it. Going through the... Also, what I was gonna say, memes aside, is I'm writing all these interactions down And I want them to be in the game, obviously, because that's the, I mean, why else would I be writing them? But if we don't have time to implement all of these, we could just cut some out. But I'm going to write them anyway. It's never too much to have good writing material to work with. Untitled Horny Studios. God, yeah, it's not even games anymore. It's just, we do whatever, as long as it contains horniness. Once the following dialogue sequence will take place. Rise of the Rainer after going through once and picks the talk option. You doing, kid? Okay. Scarlet will stay. Just got back from Mora's. Never seen so much death. Okay. I'll make it more oh my god. Alright, if we ever manage to like properly get big and get like I don't know, an office for the company for ourselves, like an office place, I vote right now for us to have like a baseball bat, an inflatable one, because we don't want to, you know, be accused of manslaughter. But I vote for having an inflatable baseball bat in every office room that has, and they would all have horny jail written on them, so that every time someone goes a bit too far, a coworker is legally obligated to pick up that fucking baseball bat and bonk him on the head. Boss orders. It will make it part of our contract every time we hire someone. We hire someone like, yo, read that line at the end of your contract, like read it very attentively. And the person will be like, wait, you're legally obligated to pick up the inflatable baseball bat titled Horny Jail and hit person on the head if they are too what does this mean? And you're like, literally what it says. If you see someone wanting to program, write, or draw too much smut into the game, you pick that up, you bunk them on the head, and then you tell us that you did it, so you'll get like a $10 bonus for that day. I'll pay you $10 from my own wallet. I don't give a fuck. Here you go. Indeed. You see a coworker sexually harassing another one, bunk him on the head with an inflatable baseball bat, but do it very hard. Not just a slight bunk, just slap him across the face with it. That'll get you $20. The harder you hit, the more money you get. Human rights and you. Yes, agreed. I mean, sexual conduct in the workplace will be a given, and you know, it's the law. But for minor misdemeanor, well, not harassment isn't minor misdemeanor, but for the other situations where it's just minor misdemeanor, we got the bonk bat. Let's go back to Moros. Never seen so much death. And here we'll have like a little bit of a dialogue tree. Why not? Again, inconsequential for the game itself in a function basis, but very good for the roleplay aspect of this RPG. How did it make you? Like Rainer's gonna ask her, how did it make you feel? Like a test of some kind. Here the player would have 3 options. First one would be named Disturbed, which is like the good one, where Scarlet's just like, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. I didn't like it one bit. First one would be named Disturbed. Second one would be named, yeah, sexual. yeah. Like imagine you're walking down the offices where the computers are and shit, where the programmers work, and you see one of the interns just playing a goddamn fucking erotic visual novel. You just pick up that bag and go, bonk. Fuck you doing? We don't pay you for that. We probably don't pay you anyway, but what the fuck? That's fucked up. Second option would be a more neutral one. Be named Unfazed. She'd be like, chilling. Like, yeah, I saw a couple dead bodies walking around. Killed a bunch of them. Saw a couple dead dogs too. Killed them too. Saw some giant motherfuckers, like, you know, frost giants are pretty big. Stabbed them in the nuts. Didn't care. And the third one would be... Third one would be... Third one would be... Darth Vader, help me. I'm looking at you. Give me ideas. Yeah, I don't have a camera on so I can show this, but on my desk, between my two monitors, I have like a small Darth Vader replica helmet to keep me company. He's like on a little stand inside a transparent box. And I'm just, and I was thinking of what to write here while looking at him, so I was like, yo, Darth Vader, help me out, man. You're the king of fucked up. Give me ideas. How do I do? Stab him in the nuts somewhere in this game. You got it. I'll put it somewhere. I don't care. Maybe for the second time that Scarlet goes through the Mountain of Moros, because she has to, you know, she's gonna have to go there a second time and fight the big bad boss. When she comes back and talks to Raynor, Raynor goes, "So you beat the big boss in the Frost Kingdom." Scarlet, if the player picks the happy, like Scarlet enjoying the fight option, she goes, "Yeah, stab him in the nuts." He was very tall, so I stabbed him in the nuts. I circumcised him aggressively with an axe. Would be the third one would be
oh shit, it's the Kermit voice. The Kermit voice back, guys. The Kermit voice is back. This hasn't happened in a while. Kermit's a bit confused. I can't think of a fucking emotional option response to write here. Miss Piggy's usually the emotional one, so I usually ask her for help, but she's not here, so I don't know what the fuck to do about it. Sesame Street didn't pay me for this one.
fuck. All right, Google Translate, help me out. we're doing it live. Shit. Yeah, this option I could say what I was in the right. Yeah, some fucking boomer humor like Scarlet goes, it was whatever. Didn't really faze me. And Rangers goes, these kids nowadays. Show them a dead body, they don't even flinch. Back in my day. I'm actually gonna write that down. Hold on. I just need to come up with a fucking option for the bad option where Scarlet's just like a fucking psycho about it. Yeah, there we go. This one sounds creepy enough because that's where I want to go with. When Scarlet has like bad choices to make, I really want to give it like a little bit of a more creepy vibe to it. So we're gonna go with pleased. Should the player pick disturbed, the following dialogue sequence would take place. Scarlet. It was honestly messed up. I thought I'd see something like that, let alone fight it. And Rainer goes, wait, fuck, I took out the boldness. Ah! Fuck, I took out the boldness again. Why am I stupid? Yeah. It's never a pretty sight. Even after all these years. Death I've seen. Still not used to it. Don't get used to it either. Keeping our humanity to the very least we can do for ourselves. A little bit of a moral lesson here, like, keep your humanity, don't get used to death. That'll just lead you down a dark path. Just, you know, getting troubled by it is normal, deal with it the best you can, but don't let yourself just get used to it. Oh, I know. I 100% expect people to pick the pleased option, hoping for Scarlet to be like super fucking yandere anime horny about it, but no, she's gonna be like more like Dante from Devil May Cry levels of, whoa dude, that fight was fucking awesome! And Rainer will just be like very concerned. Should the player pick unfazed, they'll get the following dialogue instead. Honestly, it didn't bother me. These kids nowadays, too comfortable with tragedy. Always unfazed by other people's misery. Back in my day. That body was caused enough to not sleep for 5 nights. I hope those days return. Starts funny, gets a little sad at the end, because, you know, he's talking when he was a kid, before all the big... Humanity always had it hard, but it was before all the big wars and all the shit, so, you know, he was poor, living in a poor village, because that's all humanity has in this world, but life was relatively carefree. He was happy, and then he grew up and had to go to war fighting demons, and not demons, frost giants and shit, being ordered around by stinky elves. Life got rough. Now, should the player pick pleased, you'll get the following dialogue sequence. I just copied the sentence above because it's just easier. Scarlet, some swinging left and right. They just crumbled apart at the touch of my blade. And Rainer's gonna be like, bro, that's fucked up. I'm kidding. Don't lose yourself in the heat of battle, kid. The rush you're feeling is normal for some of us. But let yourself be consumed by it. You'll be no better than a demon. If that happens to you, if you become a demon in mind, I will kill you. And that, my friends, is a Sekiro reference. Since Reiner in himself is already someone inspired by Isshin Ashina from Sekiro, I figured I'd give him at least one dialogue bit where he talks a bit like Isshin. Isshin says this to Sekiro, the main character in the game, because there's, in the Japanese mythology, there's this thing called Shura, which is basically a demon of wrath. And in Sekiro, they use that to say that, like, when a person, like a warrior, a samurai, a shinobi, whatever, when they get too caught up in the fight and they start just being full of bloodlust and anger and all they want to do is fight and kill, that they're becoming Shura, they're becoming the demon of anger. So Isshin basically warns Sekiro, like, oh, don't lose yourself to the instincts of battle and your bloodlust. I've killed a Shura before. I will do it again, basically. I'm paraphrasing severely, but basically that's what he says. He tells Sekiro, like, yo, you go down this path, you become a fucking Shura, I will fucking end you. So I wanted to give Reiner that little same vibe a bit. Except here, the other one, Scarlet just kind of walks away. And this one, she's actually going to reply. Because, you know. Okay. Chill. I'm gonna go now. Talk to you later. She's gonna be like, oh, okay, dude, fuck. Can't even fucking, gee. Can't the girls just enjoy a proper fight? Goddamn. Now, I think I'll write one more sequence, because I'm looking at the time. I'll write one more sequence and maybe call it there. End the stream on a high note. So, if the, wait, the boldening. If the player picks the dock option after going through the crater of Lynn for the first time, they'll have the following conversation with Reiner. What have you been up to? Scarlet. Just got back from the crater of Lynn. Met the gnomes. Met one of those things they call the Dundra. Freaky stuff. Yeah, the gnomes are kind of weird. They're strange, even by the standard of the world we live in. They worship weird crystal beings like gods. To the point they forsook their original religion. Never understood them. Ah, music stopped. Oh no, it's going again. Understood them much. Now, in the main game, hopefully, there's going to be the option to either be neutral / friendly to the gnomes, or just outright fight them. The first time you meet him. If the player is neutral friendly to the gnomes, Scarlet will then say, I think they're just a bit misunderstood, to be honest. Talked with their king a bit. He was nice and allowed me to pass in peace. God damn it, I opened another Word document by accident again. Fucking Discord, not Discord, fucking keyboard shortcuts. They're kind of annoying sometimes, you know? I'm gonna pass in peace. Guess I may have misjudged them. But if the player is hostile to the gnomes, Scarlet will instead say, honestly, I don't get it either. But I don't care much anyway. They attacked me, so I fought every single one on my way here. Them and their weird machines. Well, here Rainer will just be, you know, give a more reserved answer. He'll be more like, well, yes, you did what you had to do. There. Right now we have one interaction for Rainer per, well, we don't have for all of them. We don't have for the Realm of Yord yet, but, well, technically the one for the Realm of Yord is the very first one, because the Dwarven camp is in the Realm of Yord. It's just on the outskirts. So, technically we already have one per kingdom. For, well, each time Scarlet goes there once. Then I'll write the ones for each time she goes there twice. And on that note, I think it is high time we call it. Let me give... I just remembered something that I should have done earlier, but it's okay. It's not serious. So first and foremost, before starting to say goodbye, the music you've been listening to is by a dude called Takeru. He's a really good guitarist, really good rock and roll music composer. He only does instrumental stuff, but you can check him out here. You can check him out there and download his music to listen to. Give him some support. And just in case, for all the legal stuff, we can use his music on our streams because it's all registered under the Creative Commons stuff. We can use it on streams. Just can't use it. No, wait, yeah, we can use it the way we've been using it. It's fine. Everything's fine there. The Creative Commons license covers us completely. As for everything else, don't worry about it. I got you, Roxy. If you're missing some... Okay, you got them all. Cool. So those are our links, our socials. The first link, the one that's duped, is our personal website. Go check it out. Our programmer, Card, he put a lot of love into it. Took him a while to get that shit working properly in the midst of all the other work he had to do. It's a good website. Check out our Instagram. Check out our Facebook. Check out our Ko-Fi. Go on indie.db for our profile as well. Join our Discord, please. And check our Twitter. And don't forget to try out the Red Run and Eksauria alphas at ugs.itch.io. Word of warning, because I do this every time. The Eksauria alpha is very fucking loud. Lower your volume before you play it, or you're gonna go deaf. Red Run's fine. Eksauria is very loud because you know, we programmed that. Well, we card programmed that shit in JavaScript. It didn't really have we didn't actually have time to implement audio options. It's just loud by default. So care for that. Yeah, exactly. When you get some free time to update it. Oh, the website. Okay. I thought you were talking about the alpha. Yeah, okay. But right now, the website is... It may need an update here and there, but it's functional. It looks nice. We're very proud of it. Check it out. So with that said, all the links are done. I've said my piece. I put the legal links because of the music. And, guess, that's it for today. Let me put a stop to this. And, oh, yeah. Yeah, we may be able to speed up our development process now, so everybody stay tuned for that. On that note, I'll talk to you guys, well, next time I stream. Don't forget to tune in next week for someone else on the team streaming for some more cool content. See you guys some other time.